What's going on, chat? Your boy High Speed. And guess what? It finally happened. We finally made it to iCast. Every year it seems like somebody sends me video of people playing my music at iCast, and I wanted to experience the event myself, and it was a great experience. And everything that I imagined would happen business-wise and making moves, it was definitely in the building. Let me tell you, it was a 13-hour drive from Maryland to Florida. Favorite number is 13. But 13 hours is not my favorite number of driving. We had our family reunion the weekend before, that Sunday. We left that Monday, and I was sore from family reunion events. I had my knee in a brace. I was hurting, but I still managed to gather up enough energy to come out there to iCast and see my people. Talk to people about fishing music, everything, the content, the creators that are out here doing it every day, putting on for y'all. It was a great experience. But the problem I had is I ain't have no pass. I didn't have nothing to get into iCast. But I'm fearless. I'm resilient. I'm a bro neck. Plus, I know people. Call my man Dan. Dan, the famous fisherman. Dan Fay. Mr. Two poles each hand. I can't get a pass. Can you help me out? And Dan didn't let me down. Dan said, I got you. Dan called up his buddy Fast Eddie. He told me, look, you just need to come up the escalators and meet up Fast Eddie at the front desk so he can get you a pass. Bet. Once I get to the top of the escalators, guess who I see? Mr. Kings of Comedy, Mr. Family Feud, Steve Harvey. Now was my perfect opportunity to ask Steve Harvey a very important question I've been wanting to ask him for a long time. Can I go fishing at your ponds, Mr. Harvey? Please. You know me, I had to break the ice though in the conversation. So I said, Steve Harvey, can I get a picture with you? Steve was trying to go down the escalator. All the events that I cast on Tuesday were all outside because inside they were still setting up. They had booths. They had like kayaks. They was fishing in the ponds. They were doing product demonstrations and all that stuff outside. So they was heading down the escalator. I got my picture with Steve and I told Steve Harvey then, I was like, look, Steve, I did a song. I had a guy make an instrumental to your Club Shay Shay interview when you was talking about the big bass in your pond, and I did a song to it, did a fishing rap to it. And he was amazed. He says, people do fishing raps? And I was like, damn right they do fishing raps. I'm one of the kings of doing that stuff. You the king of comedy, I'm the king of the fish raps. Boom, we should come together. Royalty, recognize royalty, you feel me? Steve seemed like he wasn't that interested in what I was talking about. But his son, Broderick, shout out to Broderick Harvey. Mad respect, because Broderick, he went ahead right on his phone, started looking up the music and checking it out. I was going to let them be because I had a mission. I mean, Steve Harvey was a blessing. I got my picture with him. I was cool. But I figured it is what it is. I planted a seed. Maybe they listen. Maybe they won't listen. But I got to make sure my stuff is secured for my pass at iCast. So I had to go meet Fast Eddie. I'm making my way to the front of the building. Finds out I can't just walk through the whole arena like I planned on doing it from the side that we were at. But Dan knew people, so Dan's like, no, I mean, he talked to the ladies that we walked through the thing, the whole event. We go up to the front, meet with Fast Eddie. I get my pass, but they telling me I can't do what I just did walking through the whole arena with the pass that I got. Dan can, because Dan had better credentials than I had, so Dan is making his way through it. Me and the guy Fast Eddie that he hooked me up with have to go all the way around. So I figured this is probably like the best time to talk to Fast Eddie, since technically way the pass worked, I was his employee. So you know what I'm saying? I'm videotaping Fast Eddie. So we're making this walk to go all the way around so we can meet up with Dan. At this time, we're walking through, and just as many people that were stopping saying, hey, bro neck, they were doing the same thing for Fast Eddie. I said, oh, Fast Eddie got a pool around here. People know Fast Eddie. Finally, we find Dan, and Dan's back over there with Steve Harvey. So now this is the second time we're meeting up with Steve Harvey. He's got a lot of people around him at this time, and he's talking or whatever, and I'm not trying to be all up in the mix or whatever. So I'm now back talking to Broderick, and I'm telling him, yeah, this is my first time being at iCast or whatever like that. And me and Broderick, we chatting it up, you know what I'm saying? Good conversation. And he was like, yeah, this is our first time coming to iCast too. What a coinky dink. Seemed like God's work to me, be honest with you. But this opportunity, I did not seek asking Steve if I could come fish his ponds. Even though it was still on my brain, I was like, yo, I got a second opportunity to ask him if I could come fish his ponds. So I went back and forth talking with Broderick, and then I was thinking, so look, my wife and my kids are out in the rental vehicle. They have them sitting too long. And we had family stuff we was going to do right after we left out of there, after getting my pass. I was like, yo, Steve and everybody, I might be at ICAST tomorrow. I don't know. I'll let you know if I'm coming in there. Ask Steve, y'all going to ICAST? Yeah, they going to ICAST or whatever. I said, but I got to spend time with the fam, so I'm going to go do some family stuff, right? Steve Harvey says, your family is? I said, yeah. He said, you ain't coming back. I said, damn, Steve. Went on to a place called Desertland in Orlando, Florida. Desertland had all kinds of like arcades, bowling, go-karts, laser tag, bumper cars, all that kind of stuff. Good stuff. We hanging in there for almost 3 hours. Cool thing about Desertland, next door to Desertland is one of my favorite places on earth, Bass Pro. So I'm like, yeah, after we get out of here, I got to get some gear because I did drive all the way down here. I ain't no way I'm going to drive 13 hours and not bring a fishing pole. So I had fishing poles. I didn't have enough gear that I wanted. So I figured I'd go on Bass Pro to cop me some lures so I can yank them to shore. You feel me? The whole time I was at Desertland, though, I was like, man, there's so many things I wanted to say to Steve Harvey besides the fact that I wanted to fish his ponds. Like, man, if I would have got Steve Harvey to wish my daddy happy birthday, it'd probably get me in the favorite kid status. But I forgot to do that. So I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Wasn't thinking no more about it. Walking around Bass Pro, all of a sudden my wife says, oh my gosh, it's Steve Harvey. Because now it feels like I'm following Steve Harvey around, which is not the case. I ain't know he was going to go on Bass Pro. This time it's been like 4 hours and we left the situation all alone. You know what I'm saying? I told him I was going to go spend family time and that's what I went to go do. My family likes Bass Pro too. So we was in Bass Pro all together as a family. Damn, go on, Steve. We see y'all everywhere, man. Golly. Can't get away from y'all. But this is Bass Pro Shop though, so this is my home. It's my home away from home. I did a song with Johnny Morris and Bass Pro. Man, I'm telling you, I got stuff, man.
You gotta send us some tracks, man.
I did. I let you put your boy on. He gave me that look. I told him, yeah, I did a song for Bass Pro, and he gave me this look right here. And I know that look. Think I'm full of shit. The fact is, I got receipts. I told you I was leaving to go spend time with my family.
Yeah, you did.
And that was next door.
Now you done bought them here. See, now you got them up.
This is my home away from home. They know this, see? Broderick comes out of nowhere, shakes my hand, says, I ask no more favors.
You everywhere, man.
So you remember the name. Like I said, 4 hours went by. You remember me like that. I made an impression. That's all you got to do. Sometimes you got to make an impression. And I'm an impressionable type person. I figured he felt it. He listened to the music. I did something. They didn't even know fishing music existed. They don't know that I got 53 million streams of fishing music. But I wasn't trying to toot my horn too hard. You know what I'm saying? I just let them know. But, you know, yeah, I did do a song for Bass Pro. And yes, I was thinking about asking them if I could go fish his ponds. But there was something way more important than that. And that was me getting my favorite kid status by asking if he could wish my daddy a happy 80th birthday. And Steve like, man, boy, you asking for a lot. I ain't asked too much. I asked for a picture. I asked for you to wish my daddy happy birthday. I wanted to ask if I go fishing, but I don't know how the Steve Harvey genie works. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to mess with the Steve Harvey genie. If I only get 2 wishes, let me know I only get 2 wishes. And he granted me my wish, and he wished my daddy a happy 80th birthday.
Mr. Chase, happy birthday, man. Appreciate you watching, man. God bless you. Stay healthy, boy.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, wish you happy birthday, Pops.
Yeah, Steve Harvey wishing me a happy birthday.
Everything else with the iCast situation, I'm gonna play in videos for y'all. I'm gonna make bits and pieces. I'm gonna chop it up to the most memorable experience. There's a lot of footage, over 134 gigs of footage I took on the trip. We reviewed some products. I didn't get too deep into it, but some of the people with products did reach out to me, and met a lot of cool people to help push it. I mean, I don't have a team. I didn't have a team at first. I got a group of guys I go fishing with, but when it comes to the groundwork is done by me. Editing, all that stuff is done by me. So once I get to a certain position where I'm going to be taking over and doing, like, going hard, going in on it, and I got people behind me, you're going to see a massive wave because the talent's there, the content's there. We can do a lot. And you know what I'm saying? The brand is what it is. And you know the music ain't never going nowhere. These bars are here to stay, homie. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you like, subscribe to Broneck TV on YouTube. We got a new website coming out. It's going to be under Broneck Entertainment. Working on it right now. It's going to come with the merch and all that stuff. Everything. We just trying to, you know what I'm saying, get everything together what we want. But till next time, you know what it is. Don't be a stranger to an angler. Bro, Nick.